I think the thing is with Bitcoin, it can be quite cruel. We saw a little bit of a relief rally last month, and all the hopium filled the air. You saw people kind of flooding back onto Twitter, and then we've gone back down again to the 38K support.
So what are your targets for Bitcoin over the sort of coming weeks, months? Hopefully it's going up, because I've got a holding myself. So that's, you're only allowed to tell me it's going up.
Well, if we're talking months, I've got bad news for you. It's going down. If we're talking years, then yeah, it's going up for sure. I'm long-term very, very bullish on Bitcoin. I think over the next few years, it's going to go towards, you know, maybe 400,000, 500,000. I think eventually it'll reach 1 million. But over the next few months, I do think we're going down. I mean, look at the global economy. It's just we're kind of screwed, aren't we? We're obviously going into a pretty deep recession. I could be wrong, honestly. I thought we were going to a recession a few years ago. I was wrong about that, wasn't I? So,
so you don't think it could be? You don't think it could be a traditional safe haven like gold could be?
I think that's just what the people say, isn't it? But I don't really think it's true. I mean, yeah, maybe, but I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't think it is a safe haven. I think it's just a popular kind of meme saying that it's a safe haven. I don't think it's reality, and I don't think we're not seeing that, are we? On the charts, it's not acting like a safe haven right now, and it hasn't been for a few months. I mean, do you feel safe if you got in at like 69K and now it's at 39K? Does that sound safe to you? Doesn't sound particularly safe to me. I mean, we're down like what, 44%? That doesn't scream safety to me. That screams, oh shit, I screwed up, because I got in at 69K and now I'm screwed.
Yeah, I was being a bit devil's advocate, because at the bottom of the peak of the coronavirus, should we say, that's when we saw some of the lowest Bitcoin prices for years. So I'm with you as well. So in terms of short-term targets, then, if you're sort of bearish in probably over the next weeks and months, where do you think we're going to? Give me a number.
I think 29K at least is not like 2900, but the 29K area, so 29,500, the highs of the 29K area. I think we're going to test those again.
Lion Tamer Lou says Nick's such a perma bear.
Yeah, well, I mean, he knows me well. He's one of my best mates, so so he is right. He is right. But you know, if he listened to me, he'd be a lot richer than he is now. So,
well, hopefully he'll listen to you today. Lady of Crypto, what are your targets for Bitcoin? Do you have a different view, or are you also sort of bearish in the short term?
Yeah, I think something's quite similar to Nick. I don't really have any long-term targets per se for Bitcoin. I am bullish in the long term. You know, I think that, you know, we are going to see the price of Bitcoin eventually go up and up and up, and it's going to be awesome. I'm, you know, all behind that kind of idea. But same as Nick, really. So I think over the next few months, we are going to go down. And I think the thing is with Bitcoin, it can be quite cruel. We saw a little bit of a relief rally last month, and all the hopium filled the air. You saw people kind of flooding back onto Twitter, and then we've gone back down again to the 38K support. So I think probably over the next few months, we may see a breakthrough down through the 38K support, and we might see a little bit of a retest, but I think we're probably going to be seeing levels of maybe 34, 35, something like that. Okay,
excellent, excellent. So, I mean, a lot of people are very casual, sort of more are interested in Bitcoin. I don't think, or cryptocurrencies. I don't think there's anything, certainly, and I've been involved in finances, that have sort of excited people as much. What do you think some of the fundamental drivers of Bitcoin are?
Fundamental drivers. Yeah, that's a pretty good question. So there's, actually that question threw me. Fundamental drivers. I honestly don't see a lot of fundamental drivers for Bitcoin. I see mostly it's just hype driven, which isn't really a fundamental. Bitcoin really kind of starts to take off whenever you start to see it on the news a lot. And it's mostly just kind of crappy bullshit article. Oh, sorry, I'm swearing way too much. It's just crappy articles. It's not really like any news. We're getting more and more news lately about adoption of countries such as the Central African Republic recently. And obviously, like 6 months ago, it was, I can never remember the name of the country. I'm really sorry, to South America. Is it Ecuador or Uruguay, the one that's adopted Bitcoin?
I'm not sure.
Ecuador.
Is it Ecuador? I can never remember the name of the country. It's pretty embarrassing. But yeah, so we're seeing global adoption. We're seeing funds getting into Bitcoin. We're seeing banks getting into Bitcoin, but it never really does anything. It never moves price. So to say that it's fundamentally driven, I just don't really believe it. It just seems very kind of hype driven. There's a lot of hype that drives Bitcoin. When it starts going up, all the retail people start getting in. It starts going up, more and more up, and the more hype around it, oh, it's hitting 60,000, it's hitting 69,000. They all start dumping their money in, and then it all just crashes. Yeah.
Interesting. Apparently it's El Salvador, according to chat.
That was it.
It's somewhere around there. Still going to try and accumulate 1 Bitcoin for each of my nephews and nieces instead of a traditional savings account. I guess that's an interesting way to look at things. So cryptos generally, if I was being provocative, could I say they're all based on hype, or do you not think that's the case, Lady of Crypto?
I don't think it's all based on hype. I think that, I hope that, so I'm very much kind of fundamental analysis. So I'm, hopefully that people will be doing their doing their research and seeing the kind of utility and the potential of some of these cryptos. And I think that, yeah, you will see a lot of occasions where the hype around something is building and building and building, and then people will get in on that hype. And unfortunately, they'll have literally jumped into it, not realize that, okay, well, it's rallied ridiculously before I've got in, and then the price will crash. And that's just an example of why it's so important to do your research into things and not just jump in because so many people are raving about it on Twitter or wherever. So you do see a lot of hype, but it's about kind of understanding the level of hype and also incorporating your research into that. It's just about being smart and not just being stupid and just aping into something just because you see it and you think, oh, loads of people are talking about it. Like, yeah, they're probably talking about it and they've probably been talking about it for like a month prior. So just don't be stupid with things.
Yeah. I mean, I guess most markets suffer from hype and things like that, don't they? You see IPOs that go really heavily priced and then go down. I remember Facebook was one of those before it went parabolic as well.